What is going on, everybody? How's it going? So I picked up some Toyota style switches. I picked them up in the amber or orange light up. Um, and I already installed one. I got them from an eBay seller named Craig Pattison. He runs the Air on Board page, and they sell all kinds of OEM style switches. You just put in your year, make, and model, and it'll pop up with the switches that your model will take. And then I already installed one. There was 3 in this package. So this one is the rear locker. This one is for the front locker. And the one that is already installed is the isolation switch. It just says air compressor or air comp on it. These come with the wire harnesses, pigtails, I should say, and these are pretty easy to set up. I actually called ARB just to, and it's a mess. I got wiring stuff everywhere. So I contacted ARB for the dual ARB compressor, and you have your red for the wiring for the isolation switch, which is the ARB compressor switch. This one looks like this. So the ARB emblem lights up at all times, or you could put it on a circuit like the dash light circuit, and it will only turn on when the dash lights are on. And then when you flip this switch on, it would be on. The little wheel with the air inflation gauge has a light as well. It turns on. And the wiring is for this switch. So this switch actually looks like that on the diagram. So 8 and 7. 8 and 7 is black, which is a ground. Blue-white is the illumination circuit, which is actually 6, which is this guy right here. And then red and yellow would be the power positive to the compressor, which would be 2. And then red is going to be 3, which is the power positive from the battery. So positive from battery, positive to compressor when the switch is turned on, illumination circuit, ground, and ground. That's what this switch is for. Now the red wire, I wrote it down and I called them. Red is power from battery, power in battery. Red yellow is power out. Blue white is illumination, and black, there's 2 of them, the grounds. So I already set these. I already set up the isolation switch, which is the side of the compressor switch. That is the one that allows you to use it for airing up and down tires or using, pneumatic power tools. So these, and the way these harnesses work is the red right here. Red is the top of this switch. So the switch goes in like this, or the power supply goes in like this. So red is power to the battery. Green would be power out to the compressor or whatever, to the relay that switches on your item, whether it's lights, whatever. The blue wire is the next wire. That would be illumination. And this black wire right here is your ground. So I'm going to show you guys where I set these up, where they're going. And then I'm also going to show you guys that the compressor works off of that switch now, because I already have it wired up. All right, so we're in the truck. So this is the other switch that was missing out of that pack. And these switches all light up in orange, or amber, as Toyota calls it. So this one says air comp, shows an air compressor. These 2 blanks right here in the center by the shifter, I have a custom shifter. These 2 blanks is where these switches are going to go for the front locker and rear locker. So while I'm driving and off-roading, I could just, I can shift down to neutral, boop, boop, turn the lockers on or off. And the way this setup's going to work is I'm going to be able to turn the rear locker on by itself. Or I can also turn the front locker on by itself, is the way I'm wiring it up. But these switches right here are going to go right here. So these are where the switches are going to go. So this one's front locker, that one's rear locker. And I'm just going to tuck the wiring harnesses in here for now. Pop the switch in. Pop the switch in. So now I can shift. Turn the front locker on. And if I'm making a hard, sharp right turn or left turn or whatever, I could, because they're air lockers, they're instantaneous. Just turn the air locker, front air locker off, make the sharp turn. And then as soon as I'm done with the sharp turn, push the switch, turn it back on. And the compressor is already wired up. So I was originally going to put it right here where this blank is, but it looks better here because this is my transfer case lock right here. So makes more sense to put the air locker, transfer case lock, and then front and rear lockers for the differentials would be easier to be right where my fingers are next to the shifter. That's why I'm going to do it that way. So you can see that it lights up orange. And if I push the button because the ignition is on, compressor turns on. And I already have it hooked up. So I have a line coming into the bumper cladding right here. It comes up through the cord support. So this is just temporarily mocked up right this minute. Here's the compressor. I'm waiting for these braided PTFE lines to come in, which are JIC4 fitted. So this manifold is just hanging here for demonstration purposes with this rubber line coming in and going out to the bumper. Now this line is actually going to be tucked in over here on the inside of the Volant intake system, cold air intake. So for the front and rear lockers, that's what these are for. I'm going to take these caps out, and the solenoids are going to go in here. So when I click on the locker switch, it's going to turn the compressor on, and it's going to engage the front locker or the rear locker, depending on if I'm using one or the other, whether it's just rear only or front only or rear and front, however you want to do it. The fan setup. I did paint this ARB tank right here. I painted it a claret wine satin. It's a satin claret wine, and I clear coated it. I'm just waiting for the lines. This stainless steel braided PTFE line with the JIC4 fittings. I have a 6-foot one coming, a 6.5 foot. That's going to replace this blue hose. If this ever ends up blowing, this will take 190 degrees. And then I got 2 hoses coming. They're about 19 inches. One for the up here to the back fitting on the 1-gallon tank that goes right there. And then the other 19-inch hose is going to go from this fitting to this manifold. And I'm probably going to mount this manifold probably right here. I haven't decided yet, but I'm waiting for the lines. Here's the wire harness that I need to tuck up against the firewall still. But everything works good. So if I go turn the switch off, now it's off. I can let the air out the system. Boop. Now I can disconnect this air nozzle just for demonstration purposes, but I can attach my quad inflation system from Morflate to that, and then just deflate and inflate all 4 tires at the same time. And the cool thing about quad tire inflation systems is the tires will equalize themselves. So just showing you guys what everything looks like. I got this installed. These 2 are just going to sit here until I'm ready to wire them up, and then you know, everything's good. That is it, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.